In a world where Activision-Blizzard can't hang on to its employees, and Devin makes David and Brandon look foolish in a new game segment, this is Sick and Wired.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 12th podcast for Sick and Wired. I'm losing all these numbers. I can't keep track of them anymore. We're just going to say the next episode of Sick and Wired and somebody can throw in a number afterwards. I am 12. Yeah, I think we are 12 too. Man, we are already off the rails and I love it. I am one of the hosts, David Fraley, and I am alongside Devin.
What's up?
And Brandon.
Ciao.
I think you say that. Never mind.
Is that goodbye in Italian?
I think that's goodbye in Italian.
That might be goodbye.
So,
and Brandon is leaving now.
And I am out of here.
It's a new year, 2019, and I know the last time I was on here. Wait, David, I thought I fired you.
Or did
I fire myself? I don't know. But no, 2019, we're all still
like
here.
5 times. And somehow I'm still here. I don't understand it, but I don't question it either because I like my job.
Hey, not too bad. Back to it.
So, real quick, we got to make this real quick because we got a ton of things to talk about today. What have you guys been playing lately? We'll start with Brandon.
So, what I've been playing, I'm out on winter break right now, so it's a good opportunity for me to catch up on some stuff. I've been playing Tom Clancy's The Division because David spoke wonders about it.
I did.
And so I'm giving it a shot. I'm chipping away at Dragon Age Origins, Quantum Break, just kind of catching up on some games that I've missed over the years and I can get for a pretty good price. And then just came out December 13th, a little less than a month ago, Greece, which, I'm not mistaken, does Nathaniel have his review out on that yet?
I don't believe so. I think he's still working on it, but it should be out fairly soon.
Okay, so he's still working on it, but we will have a review for Greece out soon. But so far, that seems to be, I'm really liking the colors behind it. The whole art style is that was kind of the big selling point of this game when it was announced. But it's some pretty special. It's different. It's everything is so lively. It's beautiful. And I think that's really capturing me. And the soundtrack. I love listening to the soundtrack of that game. It's the orchestra, it fits so perfectly with the game itself. You always have to kind of make these creative decisions when you're making these games of what kind of music you want to use, and this definitely suited it perfectly.
Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to even take a good look at it. I know a lot of people have been kind of excited about, but it wasn't one that was exactly on my radar. I don't really play a whole lot of musically inspired games, I guess, but I guess I'll have to give it a look.
So
right.
Devin,
David, what about you?
Oh, okay. Well, I have been. So first off, I've been playing some Battlefield 5. My friends were kind of playing it while I was playing Black Ops, and we were in a chat party together, and they sounded like they were having a lot of fun. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm buying this game. And for $30, it's not bad. Couple of the maps I have some issues with. I think they could definitely make them better. There's some that just seem really like wide open, and there's just too much open space, and so it just, for somebody that's not a sniper, I'm more of like an assault rifle type of guy or SMG. It doesn't bode well for me, but I'm enjoying it. And my big thing lately has been watching like pro Rocket League players play, and then try to learn from watching them and like listening to them like commentate on like what people did wrong. And I'm gonna pimp this guy real quick. there's a guy named Sunless Khan that is on YouTube, and he makes a bunch of like Rocket League content. And I've been obsessed with like watching his stuff, and he actually had a video where it was like, why do I suck at Rocket League, and like what are mistakes that a lot of Rocket League players make. And a lot of the stuff that he talked about was stuff that I was making. And it just like goes into like different, like how to do rotations properly and everything. And so I've just kind of taken that and tried to incorporate that, more into my play style. So, because I'm trying to leave the platinum rank.
Some of those people are ridiculously good at that game, and I just drive around like randomly and just hope I hit the ball.
Hope you hit the ball.
That's one of those games where I've gone in and I've thought to myself, there is no discernible reason for anyone to be this good or to spend this much time in a video game. I'm talking multiple thousands of hours on a game because it's so freaking popular.
Dude, if I told you how much time I've spent playing Rocket League, you would lose your mind. Because, well, no, I mean we've kind of talked about it. But like I've just bought it on the Xbox for $10, so I now have it officially on the Switch, console, the PlayStation, and the Xbox. And if my PC,
now you just need to get on PC.
Yeah, I almost thought about it just because I want to play with my buddy, because he plays on PC with a lot of stuff. So I thought about it. I could definitely play it, but I figure with it on 3 consoles, I think that's enough. But yeah, so that's pretty much been what I've been doing lately. So Devin, what games have you been playing, man?
So I gave Atlas a shot. Okay. And I don't know if you guys
what is that?
So Atlas is a game from Wildcard Studios. If you aren't familiar with them, they made Ark. And there's been a lot of negative feedback about Atlas, and I think last time I checked it had like something crazy like 8,000 negative reviews, and it's like extremely negative. But a lot of the problems were, before I bought it, it was very similar to like a Ark mod, and it wasn't like a standalone game. Had a lot of issues with people being able to actually play the game. But then I saw some people playing it, watched a few people stream it, looked interesting. So I was like, heck, why not? I'll give it a shot. So booted it up, played for about the first hour. At first, I spawned randomly in an ocean very far away from an island and had to swim till I got to one. As soon as I got on the island, some creature attacked and killed me. And I did not. Yeah. So like you're supposed to spawn on these like NPC areas, like a free port, so you can like get your bearings about you or whatever. But there's like absolutely nothing that explains what to do in the game. You got people just running around. The game is extremely glitchy. Frames suck. The game just runs like absolute crap. And I was like, yeah, not going to happen. So I gave it about 2 hours, and I went and joined the party and refunded my game, same as probably everybody else. But other than that, I've been playing a lot more Fortnite, hanging out with the new season, getting some cool stuff. But that's about it, really.
I refuse to play Fortnite anymore. I can't do it anymore. I have Blackout and I have PUBG if I want to do something that's Battle Royale related. But that's my own personal opinion on that. But
yeah, there's too many Battle Royales out, but
there really are.
I know, but they're still entertaining though. Like it's just
Well, and the thing that I like about them is that there's enough difference between everybody that it's, like you're not sitting here like going, oh, this is a direct carbon copy of this other Battle Royale. Like, like there is definitely enough that it makes them unique, I think.
Well, we have another one coming. We got Battlefields coming up here soon, so we'll see how that goes.
Sometime in spring.
Yeah, so it should be like March, April.
Yeah.
So. What are the odds that Battlefield 5 has already missed entirely.
Well, I think they missed by
like
not
this
launching.
is just not going to go.
I feel like they missed by not launching their battle royale initially at launch. I don't know why the game gets so much negative feedback because it's a lot of fun and I enjoy it. I've always liked Battlefield games though, and of course they don't sell as well as Call of Duty games. They never have, but I prefer them over Call of Duty games. I always have, and this one I think is a really good one. Gunplay is great, graphics are amazing. It's got some really cool vehicles and weaponry to play with. So I mean, I think it's a blast, but as far as miss the mark, I don't think they missed the mark with the actual gameplay itself. I think the way they're kind of releasing things and maybe it just didn't get a whole lot of hype. It probably won't hit the sales numbers they wanted to, but I don't think by any means it was a failure. But I guess that'll kind of remain to be seen.
Well, I was strictly referring to the battle royale.
Oh.
Like how many people are actually going to now that we've got PUBG, Fortnite, now Blackout, which was met with great reviews. Like how many more people are there who are actually starving for a battle royale experience?
Probably
I don't
not
think,
many.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that popular. Also, I think what you're going to have is they're coming out with this probably, like we said, probably March, April. I would expect Call of Duty Blackout to move to free to play here sometime soon. And I think they'll make that option completely free where everyone can play it. And they'll have their microtransactions within the game. Nothing we can do about that. But I think they'll make that move to combat the fact that Battlefield's coming out with their own Battle Royale to kind of draw more people in, and then if you want to pay like an extra $30 to get zombies in the multiplayer, you can do that. But then just get a bunch of people on their own battle royale. I would say that's probably going to be the closest thing happening, and I personally am not like excited for the Battlefield 5 battle royale. I don't really know what it's going to look like. I don't expect a whole lot of other people to be that excited either.
Plus, for a small niche of people, I haven't spent much time with it, but the Red Dead Online has a sort of its own battle royale.
I haven't even played Red Dead Online
Doesn't it?
yet. I don't know. I would not be. I know they used to have it on Grand Theft Auto 5. They had a version there for a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought Red Dead 2 had a 10-person free for all, so it was much more scaled down, but it was still the basic. It still had the heart of what a battle royale basically.
Yeah,
is.
and that was similar to what Grand Theft Auto did. I think they had it like 20 players or something. It was nothing crazy, but like teams of like 2 to 3. But yeah, they didn't have a ton of players, so yeah, I wouldn't doubt them having a smaller one in it.
Yeah. So Battlefield 5, I don't know. But anyway.
Wait, what?
Is that
what
all?
were we talking about?
We were talking about the games we played
been playing.
recently.
We're not even on a topic yet. And Brandon was right. We said, yeah, we're not going to talk too long about that. 12 minutes in, and
I'm
we're
telling
like,
you,
oh yeah,
that-
Battle Royale.
Like I said, you cannot jump into this podcast thinking that it's only going to go for like an hour, because every single time we say that, we find a way to talk about something that we didn't think we were going to talk that much about, and then we
Don't doubt me. I will cut you off.
I know
Just
you will. But then again, you said you were going to fire me 3 times before, and I'm still here.
Yeah, I felt bad. Had to let you come back.
You're like, this kid needs a job. So, do we want to do your thing last, and then do?
I say we'll run it. We have a little surprise for everybody, but I say we run that in right before our main topic, and then we can. So I mean, whatever we're going to hit, potentially news wise, we can hit that real quick, and then transition to that, the main topic.
Okay. So what we'll do is we are going to kind of highlight it's kind of a light news week this week. There was a couple things that kind of stood out that we thought were kind of major that we wanted to highlight upon. I'm gonna take the one at least that I had heard about. Is that this, and I forget, Devin, what was the name of the developer that you said did this?
Slightly Mad Studios.
So Slightly Mad Studios has decided that they are going to create their own console. And it's called the Mad Box. And this is supposed to rival the Xbox, whatever their next gen console is, and whatever PlayStation's next console is. There's not a whole lot of information out on it. But they did say, from what I did read, was that it was going to be like a very powerful PC. It was going to be VR ready with 90 frames per second for each eye. It was going to have 4K output. Very lightweight and portable. That's pretty much about all we know.
Have you seen pictures of it?
I did, yes. It
Yeah,
looks
so
like an
it looks
like
like a
M, but
like a
like
tower.
The legs are, well, yeah, like it looks like an M, but like the legs of the
Extend
M are
out,
like
yeah.
way longer, and it almost looks like you might be able to change like the colors.
Yeah. So like it looks a lot like a PC tower,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, the design is kind of out there. But he's saying it's going to be the strongest console ever built. I mean, that's kind of bold to say, but I'll be honest with you. Like, what the stuff that they've made before. I mean, they've made Project Cars 2, Project Cars, and a few other like racing games, Shift 2, stuff like that, like Need for Speed. So I'm just like, how do you go from making a few car games to building your own console? Like, I don't, as far as tech-wise,
Well,
I don't really know
when
where they've been at.
Meth is a hell of a drug. It really gets to the brain.
Sometimes I feel like people just go out there. If I just say the most outlandish stuff ever, everyone will believe me. And then I got the hype, and I just have to like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't see this working. You're not going to take out the powerhouses. You're not going to take out Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. I don't care. Like, we're too embedded in that. Like, the past 20, 30 years, like, that's all you play. And, like, any new consoles that come to try to rival that just die. So I don't see this happening. I just don't see how it would happen.
Well, let's put it this way. So you just had Soldier Boy try to make his own console.
Wait, he did?
Well, okay, those were bootlegged though.
He tried to make his own console?
He tried to make his own console. I don't know, but
why?
Because he can't make
good
music.
He tried to sell bootleg
He can't make good music,
consoles.
so he tries to make a bad console too.
I guess I don't know. All I know is, so you're trying to jump in to an already perfect trifecta of Sony, Xbox, or Microsoft and Nintendo. You have no, like, even if you're trying to jump into the PC realm, well, then you're battling with, like, Omen and Alienware and all these other, like, big-hitting, names that are already, like, well-established in that field. If you come out with something called the Mad Box, which, not gonna lie, that's not the most appealing name ever, and you've made games that haven't really done all that well, I don't know. I think you're literally putting yourself out there to die. Like, that's just my own personal opinion. Like, you can't make a game that sells super duper well that, is just selling gangbusters or whatever. Now you're trying to jump into the console wars, and there's already 3 that are way more established, have way more clout, and have, like, exclusives for them.
That was another thing I was going to pull. I mean, what about first party studios? I mean, what about, even getting these other developers to want to make a game? Because there's going to be licensing to get this done. There's going to be, a lot of different specs for people to make the game on that system. And you got to sit there and try to convince them to come over and maybe do an exclusive with you or to even make the game on that. Like, I just don't see how this works. Like, I don't know.
And think about the fact, too, okay, so think of a group, and maybe this is a bad example, but I'm going to use it anyway. So think of, like, Ubisoft. Okay, Ubisoft already makes games for the Switch, so they have to have, be able to program something for that console. Then you've got PlayStation, so they're programming for that, and then they're also programming it for the Xbox and also for PC. If this has a whole different operating system, which it probably will, unless it's literally just like a portable PC, then you're going to have these developers program for a 4th thing, and have a whole set of specs to run specifically for that, you're going to be asking way too much of these developers than we already ask of them right now. I don't know. I think it's way too much. Like, I personally,
I don't know, they would have to come out and be something game changing that nobody else had that made people just want to come over there. Like, that's the only way I see it working. Otherwise, I think you're gonna have a complete bust here in a company that's on the verge of bankruptcy.
yeah. And the
I
thing
think
is
I think other than that, the only other possible way would be to market it as like a cheaper console. Like, oh, and kind of like market it towards the parents, like almost, oh, your kid wants an Xbox? Well, guess what? Xbox is X amount of dollars. Get it? And then our Madbox, our Madbox has all of these capabilities and has these awesome games. It's got to have great games. You've got to be able to get great games on the Madbox. Otherwise, it's not going to work, period. And it's at an affordable price.
That's the part you can't.
That's the only way.
You can't get the best of both worlds though. How do you make the strongest console ever built at the cheapest price? Like it's not going to happen.
That's why they've already failed. We already know they're going to fail because you cannot have 90 frames per second, 4K resolution, most powerful console on the face of the earth and be like, here it is for $150. It's just not going to work.
Well, you know what?
And so,
to be honest with you,
to come out
go ahead.
and say, I was just going to say that to come out and try to, like you guys were saying, 3 consoles. I mean, it may have even been one thing if this came out when Nintendo still had Wii U and we had heard nothing about the Switch. But now that it's like we have 3 juggernauts. We have like the holy trinity of video games right now, and then all of a sudden this 4th wheel's gonna come in and try and be like, hey guys, here's mine too. That thing is going to get crushed.
Here's mine too. I don't know why that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the money too. Like, yeah, there's no way that even in 2 years' time, say they get this, they get the specs, they get the everything that they need, this year, and they start production, they're ready to drop this and release this in the next, 2 years after that. Well, then in that period of time, you're also going to have a new generation of consoles from Microsoft and Sony, and I don't know about you, but I'm going to be leaning more towards buying something that I know has games that are going to be coming out for it that I want than buy this, hopeful console or, PC or whatever the hell you want to call it that has nothing that I know of that's going to be on it. Like it just, I don't know, and make it affordable. It's just not going to happen.
And actually, now that you think of it, they market it as like this is coming out and this is the most powerful console ever. Well, I will bet you as much money as I can possibly scrape together that when in probably 2020 or 2021, kind of in that range, when the next generation starts, Xbox and PlayStation both come out with their latest and greatest, this is not going to be the most powerful console anymore.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying it's going to take 3 years to make, so they plan on launching right beside the new next-gen systems. So they are probably going to wait until they see exactly what they got and try to go a step further.
Yeah.
But there's no...
They're going to fail. That's all I'm saying.
There is no way.
They're going to fail, but I'm not going to go into too long of a rant about slightly mad studios because they're a bit mad. I mean, the title is probably correct for what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? To be honest with you, I almost personally, and I may even try to do this, is to reach out to them and see if maybe they'll do like a slight interview, not like revealing anything, but just kind of talking about it and like what their, scope for this is, like what do they hope to accomplish with it? Because I personally would be very interested to hear about like what made them want to jump in and try to, compete with Microsoft and Sony. You have this tiny development studio going up against these juggernaut companies that are like, I mean, that's literally like some dude who, gathers a bunch of friends into his garage and they're like, oh, we can make a PC or, you know, something, and try to combat Microsoft and Apple and something. It's like, no, that's
like
not
a
going to
group of
happen.
buddies who get together and decide they want to take on the likes of IGN and Kotaku. Wait, who am I talking about? What?
I don't know what. Next topic.
Oh yeah. So I know Brandon was saying something about this earlier, but there's been a lot of changes going on with Activision-Blizzard. I know they've had a huge decline in shares over the past few weeks. You know, their Q4 didn't look too pretty. And now, as far as like pretty recently, they lost Spencer Newman, which was one of the CFOs, and he left for Netflix. And now today we're hearing that another CFO, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Amrita Ahua, has also left the company for Square to become their new CFO. So you have financial problems going on at Activision Blizzard as far as their Q4 report is concerned, and you have two top-level execs, financial officers leaving the company. What does that say for Activision, and is this a move by Activision, or was this a move to jump ship by the two CFOs? What do you guys think?
I read that the one that went to Netflix, I believe he was fired. But then this new one that went to Square left on her own accord. That was my understanding. And I don't know everything surrounding it. If I'm going to be frank, I probably should have a little more research done on this right now, but that's pretty much as far as I know. And then between the money problems, the stock issues, it's down 20-something%.
I think it was like
something
26%.
like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And plus the whole Diablo Immortal fiasco, which contributed to the stock plummet. Activision Blizzard, let's just face it. And it wasn't even the whole year, but in the last few months of 2018, Activision Blizzard managed to take just a massive on their entire company.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what
Well,
happened.
I mean, you also have Mike Morhaime. I don't know, like he was the co-founder and the president of the company. He left in like October, like right when all this was going on. So you have Diablo Immortal, which absolutely infuriated the fan base. You have Mike Morhaime leaving, and now you have two CFOs leaving, and there's apparently huge amount of friction going on between Activision and Blizzard. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on over
This
there.
is like when the coach of a sports team in the middle of the season ups and says, "You know what? I'm sorry, this isn't for me. I'm done," and they leave and they go to another team.
That usually is not about to have major issues. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that Blizzard's trying to cut cost. And that, I mean, I get that. Trying to, wheat the chaff, that kind of deal, get rid of some non-essential personnel. But top-level executives and a co-founder of the company leaving, like there's issues going on over there, and it's projecting, so.
There's top level stuff going on that clearly those top level people know about, and through the trickle down effect, I imagine we start to see some more people that are maybe a little lower on the hierarchy start to leave.
Yeah,
whether it be layoffs, walkouts, whatever, resignations. This is a trickle down effect, I believe. It started at the top with the co-founder, and now it's coming all the way down to the CFOs, and it's going to come all the way down to your basic development experts down at the towards the bottom of the studio.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, one, it's always sad to hear, like somebody that's such a behemoth like Activision Blizzard, you hear like their shortcomings and everything, but I think a lot of it is like a lot of their games lately have not been selling all that well either. Like, you figure, so Activision Blizzard their stock took a hit when they mentioned Diablo Immortal, because nobody wanted a mobile port for that. They were all like, we wanted Diablo 4. Where the hell is this thing? And Destiny did not sell as well as they wanted to. And it's because they just keep asking the customer after they've already spent X amount of dollars on their game to just keep spending more and more and more on these updates that they keep dropping. And I don't think Call of Duty sold all that well. I mean, in Call of Duty terms, it didn't sell well. As a game as a whole, it's obviously still sold gangbusters. I think it was even outsold like what freaking Red Dead did, which is astounding to think about. But it didn't like live up to their expectations, and I think they're starting to kind of see a little bit of not flashback, but like, you're starting to see some of the audience feedback like really starting to affect them. And if it is based on like cutting costs and everything, and weeding out the non-essential people, even if it's higher up people, that's, I don't know, that just starts making more sense to me. It's like, okay, you guys are starting to feel what, these shortcomings that you were setting out. Like, you guys had these great ideas for stuff, but it's not what people want, You have to start pleasing the customer. You can't always go based on your shareholders and stuff. Like, your shareholders, yeah, they help kind of fund certain things, but they can fund it to make it happen, but if nobody buys it, then you're screwed.
I think this is, again, deeper than just employees aren't happy with the games they're producing. I think this is something. I think that in a few months, maybe even half a year, maybe it hits June or July of 2019. I think we are going to look back. Something's going to happen, and we are going to look back and say, "Oh, now it makes sense. X, Y, and Z left the company." Oh, see, I think there's something going on specifically with probably the culture. I mostly think so because it's not common. I don't think it's very common that you see two CFOs who have cemented their roots in a company just up and leave, not for necessarily a promotion, but just another CFO job. I think there's a reason being a CFO at Netflix is better than being a CFO at Activision-Blizzard. Yeah, and usually I feel like that would be a more of a culture thing within the company. That's my speculation.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I agree with you. I think in the coming months that we will definitely, see the results of this stuff happening, whether it's a case of like, oh, that's why they did this, or it's going to be like, or something worse where we're like, oh my God, like this led up to this, like massive layoffs, or just, and I'm just kind of speaking theoretically here, but, it's just like, this might be kind of like the starting domino piece or the starting snowball before it forms this giant avalanche or something, like you just,
and honestly, it's kind of surprising too, seeing this kind of controversy for a studio that has recently, through Activision, released Black Ops 4, and then also in the past couple years has released Overwatch on the Blizzard side of things. I mean, these are two games, again, that it came out to massive critical acclaim. Overwatch is an extremely popular game, and it gets more and more popular every day. Yet, we're seeing these kinds of money issues, people leaving, game announcements. It's very abnormal.
For a company like that, it is definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, wish the best to him.
Yeah, it's like, I don't wish for any developer or company to, go under or have setbacks or anything like that, but, it's a normal part of the business, unfortunately. Like people leave, companies fall under, it happens all the time. We just don't hear about it necessarily. So,
Yeah.
So what's the next bit of news since we're already 35 minutes into this podcast?
Well, the next portion we want to get to is a little game I have created.
Oh no.
A little game. So, a new segment we're going to run. We're calling it Who Said It? I'm going to give you quotes from iconic characters in video games over the past 20 years or so. We'll have 3 multiple choice options for you guys, and you pick which one they are. And I got 7 of them for you here. And if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you get, obviously, nothing. Sound like a plan, boys?
Sure.
Just how obscure are these going
Oh,
to
they're
be?
going to be all over the board. So what you will have, though, I'm going to at least tell you the year that the quote came from. So if you kind of got a rough idea of when the game was made, it'll give you a little hint. And there's only 3 multiple choice options to choose from. But I'm not going to tell you what year every game in this list is made. So if you don't know what year the game was made, then that's your problem. To start it out, I'm just, we're going to do it like this. I'm going to think of a number 1 through 10. Both of you tell me a number. Closest one to it starts this thing off.
5.
Brandon?
6.
I was 7. So Brandon's going to start it.
I am
God.
the greatest. Did I win the game? Was that the game?
So our first one, how it's going to work is whoever's in the lead is going to answer first on the next one. Obviously, if there's a tie, the person who was in first the question before will answer first, and so on and so on. So our first quote came in the year 2016.
Good year.
The quote is, I'm giving you guys a toss-up on this one. If you don't know it, that's your problem. The quote is, "Heroes never die." It's either A, Cortana from Halo 5, B, Mercy from Overwatch, or C, Nathan Drake from Uncharted 4. Brandon, what do you think?
B.
B, David?
I was going to say B too.
Mercy from Overwatch, that is correct. You both get to 1 point.
Whoop, whoop.
I'll have a little emotion, Brandon. You just won a point.
Yippee.
All right, question number 2. This game came out in 2007. I think, David, you guys are going to like this quote. Ready? "Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, might as well spread them around." That's either A.
Oh my god.
That's either
Super seducer.
Okay, I would just
All right, guys. I got
2007, Dave. 2007.
All right, I'm gonna read it one more time. Okay.
Do you have to?
Ooh, compose yourself. "Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, might as well spread them around." That's either A, the Jackal from Far Cry 2, B, Harkin from Mass Effect, or C, John Marston from Red Dead Redemption. Brandon?
Okay, I would just like everyone listening to understand this is really happening right now. This is not scripted except on his end. He came up with these beforehand and he said, "Yeah, I like that one."
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Oh man, 2 games on there.
Would you like me to reread the choices?
I just need to hear the first one again.
Okay.
Was it Jackal?
I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's the Jackal from Far Cry 2, Harkin from Mass Effect, or John Marston from Red Dead Redemption.
That's not something that would happen in a Mass Effect title. I would say that's very... I would say that's very keeping with kind of the Far Cry dialogue. I feel like A would be the correct one there.
Okay, and David, what do you say?
I was gonna say A too because I didn't feel like that was something that was definitely gonna be in a Mass Effect, and I just can't see it also being said in a Red Dead.
Well, here's the thing: if it were a different character in Red Dead, I might consider it. But that's not dialogue for John Marston.
True. Well, boys, guess what? You both missed it. It was Harkin from Mass Effect.
There's no BioWare. What did you do? What did you do, BioWare?
2007 Mass Effect.
My
Harkin
gosh.
said it. Harkin said it.
I swear to God. I'm in the middle of replaying that game.
Look for it.
Devin, I have underestimated you.
That's why.
I'm now scared for these.
I overestimated you.
All right, guys. Question number 3. You ready? Game was made in 2008. The quote is, "Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour." That was either A, Zoltan Shive from The Witcher 2, B, Niko Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4, or C, Emperor Uriel Septim from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And we have a tie, so Brandon, you still carry this one on first.
Damn it.
This is a hard one, especially since I haven't played any of these games. Could I hear the quote, the whole thing again, quote and options?
Yep. It is, "Men are but flesh and blood. They know their doom, but not the hour." It's either A, Zoltan Shive from The Witcher 2, B, Niko Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4, or C, Emperor Uriel Septim from Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
That feels too philosophical for a Grand Theft Auto game. Almost.
That's what I was thinking too.
Now A or C, it's
Cue Jeopardy theme song.
I could totally see that. I could totally see that being in I could see that being in Skyrim. I've never played Oblivion though, but assuming that the dialogue is similar, I'm going to say C.
C is your answer? Okay.
Yeah.
And David?
So I'm gonna say A. One, because it does sound like way too like philosophical or whatever for it to be in a Grand Theft Auto. And I think that you would not have picked a quote and then had an Elder Scrolls game in it, because that would have been way too freaking easy. Because we know how much you love Elder Scrolls.
Yep. You know what's funny though? I did do Emperor Uriel Septim. That is the correct answer. Brandon, you get 1 point. David?
Damn it! Woo! I hate this game!
Oh, gosh. Okay. We're going to do question number 4. This game came out in 1998. And sorry, guys, I chose every single answer from a game from 1998, so this one will not be easy. The quote is, "Time passes, people move. Like a river's flow, it never ends. A childish mind will turn to noble ambition." That is either A, Sheik from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, B, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, or C, Ryu from Street Fighter Alpha 3.
B.
Okay,
Metal
B is
Gear,
his answer.
that's a Metal Gear quote.
Okay, what were the ones again?
Do you need the whole thing, or do you need just
the choices?
It's A, Sheik from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, B, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, or C, Ryu from Street Fighter Alpha 3.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna go A.
Correct answer is Sheik, Legend of Zelda Ocarina
No!
of Time.
Oh, we're tied. Suck it.
2-2.
I totally expected that too. I knew one of those was going to be in there, and it was going to be like Legend of Zelda. How often do you hear?
I will be honest with you.
Link and like those characters saying these really.
It was
crazy,
a quote. It was a quote about time, guys. Like, I thought that one was.
I will be honest with you. I completely guessed on it because I have barely played. I have barely played any of them. So
it was made in '98. You guys are well. I mean, David, you're a grandfather. You should know. And then Brandon, you're like could be his child.
I was 40 years old in '98.
I was not alive in '98.
Oh my god! I feel so old now.
I was not alive in '98.
We're just going to avoid this conversation altogether. All right, question number 5. This quote was made in 2007. Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. That is either A, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, B, Bayonetta from Bayonetta, or C, Cortana from Halo 3. David, we'll let you go first on this one since you won the last round.
C.
Okay, and Brandon?
I haven't played any of these games. I'm gonna say Bayonetta.
Bayonetta? The answer is Cortana from Halo 3.
Oh, the minute you said that, I was like jumping around.
Here
like,
was the gimme on this one, guys. The game was made in 2007. Lara Croft was made in 2013, I believe, and Bayonetta was made in 2012. So, if you didn't know that. All right. The score is David 3, Brandon 2. We got 2 more to go.
He's got 3 points?
Yep.
How do you get 3 points?
Read them and weep, son!
He got Mercy from Overwatch. He got...
we
Sheik
both got
from Legend of
Mercy.
Zelda. Yep, and then Cortana.
Okay.
All right, question number 6. This game was also made in 2007. The quote is, "We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us." That is either A, John Marston from Red Dead Redemption, B, Andrew Ryan from BioShock, or C, Nick from Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh.
David, you go first.
B.
Okay. Brandon?
What year was this again?
2007.
2007. Red Dead Redemption? I'd like to go different than David, but I'm going to agree with him. I think this is B.
All right. The answer is Andrew Ryan from BioShock. You both got it right.
First of all, Red Dead Redemption didn't release in 2007, did it?
I don't think so. I'm not looking back to look.
Greatest game shows.
I don't have all of them here. I just know which ones. All right.
Some of these I don't even necessarily
remember guys.
The year the game released. I just remember
Brandon,
the whole being set in the game.
Brandon, if you get this next one, we have a tie. David, if you get this next one, you automatically win. Now, the caveats on this one. I did not choose a character, and I did not give you the year. These are 3 games that all came out before 2000, and it's just a quote from the game. The quote is, "If all else fails, use fire." That is either A, Fallout, the original Fallout, B, Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, or C, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. David?
What was the quote again? Because you kind of cut out when you said it.
The quote is, "If all else fails, use fire." That is either A, the original Fallout, B, Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, or C, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
I'm gonna say B.
Oh man, and I've never played any of these games. I'm gonna say C.
The correct answer is C, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I'm shocked you got that,
Damn
David.
it.
So David is our winner with 5 points, and Brandon, you played well, but you only got 3. You got a failing grade, less than 50%. David, you got 5 of 7 out of those.
Damn straight, son.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I was so nervous, too. I was like, there's so many games that like you were asking about, and I was like, I don't know these!
But, yeah, that's our new segment, Who Said It? We got David as the winner, and next week I'll come up with some better ones and get you.
You better. The better part, I mean.
You won't be able to dethrone me.
The only throne David will ever have.
Oh, guys, that's harsh.
Think again, boy.
All right, guys, we don't have too much time here to dive into our last topic, so we might as well jump into it. David, what do we got?
So, see, I don't know if I want to do this now, because it's like, it's going to take so much longer than I wanted, and we're already at 50 minutes.
Oh, we can just hit it, or we can save it for next week. It doesn't really matter.
You know what? I kind of want to save it for next week. And I hope the listeners don't hate me too much, but I really, like, I feel like all of us are going to have a lot more than we initially think to say. So, and I think it's going to take up like the entire hour. So I don't want to try to like rush through it.
If we dive into this, it's going to take us an entire another 40 minutes. Probably.
And I know we all have other stuff that we have to do.
My game actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to take like 10 minutes. Tops. It took like an easy 15, 20 minutes.
So, yeah.
And I like that game.
Good,
I
definitely think we should have that.
Yeah, you guys like it? You ready for next week?
Yeah.
My brain versus yours. Let's see who wins. It's going to be me because I scripted all and I get to look at Google and you don't. Bam.
I mean,
by the way, I would just like to say Red Dead Redemption was released in 2010. So I may be a genius.
Oh, okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Except for the fact that you got 3 of 7 of my questions right. So that makes you less than 50%. So that would be a fail.
Well,
can we change his name to less than 50% in the Discord?
Some of those questions were before my time. You guys are old as all hell.
Okay, well then I will. Next week I will choose more child friendly. Not child friendly. Youth friendly questions.
Oh, we should do one game, but we have to guess which character would say it.
Which character would say it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Within one game.
I'll create something.
That's
I'll get it to you. I'll get something cool. It'll be ready.
You could even do like name the game and then like Brandon, I don't know how much you know about like developers. If you could be like, oh, like this game, was created in this day or this year or whatever, but who was like the developer or whatever, I don't know. I'm just kind of
you guys are spitballing in the middle of a podcast right now.
We need a wheel. We need a wheel that we can spin. Like, which segment is it going to be today? All right. Who said
New
what?
New year, man. New year. We got to come up with fresh ideas. Fresh.
This is true.
That's why I came up with Who Said It.
I'm feeling fresh.
Can we get sponsored by like Subway? So like, like
dude, it'll be like Happy Gilmore, man. It'll be like Happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because fresh. I get where you went there.
That's another old movie.
You get what I'm throwing down?
Yeah, I got it. Throwing down that salami. Backtrack.
This is not a video game podcast anymore.
Oh my god. I'm in tears. I am literally crying. So, well, before we derail this anymore,
not possible.
I think it is very possible. You don't know me that well. I can literally sit here and talk for an hour just by myself. But I think we should wrap this up real quick. Next week for sure we will bring the topic. You know what? And I'm gonna tease it just real quick. So our topic next week will be what we want to see change in the games industry. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on, maybe some developer choices and whatnot. And I want to explore different ideas of what, all of you guys would like to see change and maybe what some of, the listeners want to see change, get some of their opinions and everything. So, and I'm not going to say anything more on that. You guys will just have to tune in next week. So with that, I'm also going to say, check out the Sick Critic website. We got a lot of good stuff going up there. We got opinion pieces. We got reviews. We got news. We got stuff that'll make your mama cry. Go read it.
Stuff's changed, man.
This podcast and
new year, new me. New year, new me.
Yeah, yeah. and
check out the website, guys. It's got a lot of cool stuff going up. A lot of cool changes being made. All
share
around.
The articles.
Shameless plug.
Share
David's hairline. Just wait, what?
Yeah, that is not shareable.
What hairline?
I don't share that hairline.
You can't share things that don't exist. Oh, but
I I might be bald.
Kind
I
of
don't know,
like,
so I might
kind of
have
like
that
that game, Lawbreakers. Wait, oh shit! Didn't mean to
Oh
go-
my
Aw.
gosh.
Okay,
And with that,
That I guess
We
you were
are
right, David.
outta
This could
here.
derail further.
yes, I need to stop
told
before
you.
I just get in a complete David insult
Brilliant.
streak here. I'll go 54 minutes into this.
Drop it, boy.
All right, guys.
bye.